Hello traders, Day Trader Matt here of businesswithtrading.com, doing a trading strategy recap for Thursday the 4th of June. And today was one of those days, those difficult days where everything's a struggle and afterwards you're just, I'm glad it's over, let me go do something else and totally get my mind off of this. This was one of them. So it's a really good example, unintended example, but, as humans we learn from our growth. Growth is, maybe making mistakes, having bad days, having good days. We learn from all of that. So today's a really good day to learn from a couple bad trades. The market opened with a gap down. Price kind of chopped around a little bit, moved higher, and then started to work its way lower. And, we were 3 for 2 on the day and ended up pulling a half a point out, and it was the last trade that gave it to us. We'll see that in a moment. So our first trade was a long up here, which obviously we got stopped out of. And then our second trade was a short that we were able to make a little bit of money on. And then price started to move up, so we decided let's get long. Hindsight, obviously a bad decision, so we got stopped out of that one. And then we started to just watch things, see what is playing out, what are we looking for. We did get long over here, we were able to take some quick profits. We got long again over here, able to take profits again. And then we watched things. Price started to come down, chop around, chop, chop, chop. And we ended up getting long right here. It's hard to see this candle because it's a doji. This is the low. We ended up getting long over here and then getting out as it moved up. And that pretty much was the day. It definitely was not a pretty day. And that's why I said today was a good example, because a lot of people, a lot of new traders, and a lot of educators kind of build this bullshit picture where, jump into trading, it's very easy, you just use some software and it shows you your buys and sells, and, trading is definitely not anywhere close to that. And, people telling you that are just full of shit. It is what it is. Like a used car salesman, they get such a bad rap because there are a lot of used car sales places that don't do maintenance. They don't check on the vehicle. Maybe you leave and, you realize, oh, there are no brake lines in this car. I have to run into a ditch to stop. But then you have other used car sales places and they do maintenance, they look at their cars, and they just sell awesome cars. But the bad ones give the good ones a bad name. And a stigma just lies over the industry. It is what it is. And it's like that in anything. Insurance, yacht sales, whatever you do, it's like that in everything. But it really does kind of drive me crazy that it actually still exists in this day and age, with, Yelp and social media and everything. You would think that a lot of those companies would not be around, but they are. So anyway, it is what it is. That's my little rant about that. I probably shouldn't have even said that, but it is what it is. But anyway, talking about today, we were trying to, look for bottoms, look to get long, when we really should have been selling. We should have, short this one I wouldn't have taken, but, obviously in hindsight it would have worked. But this was a big trade, though, that we ended up not taking. We talked about in the room, it looks like it's going to roll over. We'll see what happens. And I was looking for one more move up here. It is what it is. And that's what, I talk about all the time when we're looking at, risk. And risk is not just, I'm going to get long here, my stop goes here. Risk is also, if I take this trade, how much would I have to risk if I went short versus going long? So that's another aspect of risk that is not talked about by anybody. So risk is a lot bigger than just I'm going to get long here, get short here, my stop goes there. Risk is all about, where's the market going, how much do I have upside versus downside, and you're never going to be exact, like 6 points up, 4 points down. Like, I don't do that. That doesn't make sense. Just because, who's going to predict shit like that? Nobody. But in looking at it, you can say, okay, well, price looks like it can come up here. So when it gets close, you don't want to be aggressive buying the market. It doesn't make any sense. On the same hand, going down, you don't want to be aggressively shorting the market if it's close to an area where you think that's about as far as the market can go. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that a little bit, get you to think outside the box a little bit. If you have anything to add to the conversation below in the comment section, if you have any questions, there's no such thing as a dumb question, only the one that's not asked. So if you have a question, ask it. We were all new at one time. I was new at one time, and I was a horrible new trader, making hundreds and hundreds of trades a month, not really having a real system and just going crazy. Those were not good times for me. But I can talk about it now because been there, done that. I sucked really bad. Now I don't. It's a good story. But it's good for me because it keeps me humble. And that's one thing good about starting anything. I love to play guitar. When I first started, I sucked. My parents talk about it like one day I just became good. It's like, oh, one day you just became a good player. And I think about it, I'm like, but I put so much work into that. Yeah, I practiced for hours a day, and then I became good. But nobody looks at that amount of work that you put in order to become good. Our society is, looks at, people that become good, like Michael Phelps, for example, or pick your person, whoever's good right now. All of the work that person put in to get to where they're at, nobody looks at that. They're like, oh, you just became good. That's awesome. But trading's the same way. You have to put so much work into becoming a good trader. And once you become good, it becomes pretty simple. It's never easy, but it becomes simple. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you back here in the markets. Thank you.